there everyone, my name's Miranda and today I am finally here to review Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs, and this is a book I have been wanting to read for so long, honestly, and I picked it up last year, but I literally only made it like 50 pages through before I got distracted by another book, and that's not because it was bad, it's just that there were like other books at the time that I really wanted to read, and this one was just like you know what I mean? But the movie is coming out this year in September, so I figured now is a great time to get on it, to read it before the movie comes out. So I did, and I have to say I am so happy to report that this book is as great as everything you have heard about it. Like, everyone was telling me this book was really good, and that happens a lot. But oftentimes when someone tells you a book is really good, it's not often the case that it's actually very good. Sometimes you're really disappointed because your expectations are way too high. This was not the case at all with this book, and I was so pleasantly surprised. There's just something so pleasantly wonderful about reading a book and then turning out to be actually as great as everyone said it was and as you were expecting it to be. So thumbs up to Ransom Riggs and Miss Peregrine's for that. If you haven't heard of the series yet, Miss Peregrine's is basically about this boy named Jacob whose grandfather growing up tells him all these stories about this fantastical place he lived at when he was a survivor of World War II, and he tells him stories and he has pictures of people who can fly and people who are invisible and have bees coming out of their mouth and all these really crazy stories, and Jacob is very in love with these stories and very attached to them. And as he grows up, he kind of realizes, like, his mom and dad telling him that these stories, there's no way they can be true. He kind of loses faith in what his grandfather's saying, and that kind of causes a divide in their relationship. And one fateful night, a family tragedy occurs, and Jacob is sent in kind of like this mental breakdown after what he saw. So to help combat with that, his therapist recommends that he goes to the island where his grandfather said that he lived at this place, this home for peculiar kids, and he tries to find the house and investigate, and the story takes off from there. I knew from like the trailer and stuff, because I'd watched the trailer before I read the book, that the house is like separated from other people, but I didn't know quite how it was, and I don't want to spoil it because it was actually very interesting and very surprising, but it makes the book have more of a YA feel, I feel like, when you read how the house and how the children are kept separate from everyone else, if you get what I mean. It kind of adds this other cool element to it that I really liked, and I didn't see it coming. Like, I didn't know that was how the house was going to be explained, so I really like that. Also, all the kids are amazing. All their powers are very interesting, and what I really liked was how we have so many kids that it's kind of impossible to like specialize on all of them, but we really hone in on like 5 kids and their relationship with Jacob, and that's really cool to me, and just like developing all of their different powers and how they have coped with being who they are and living the lives they have, and how that affects who they are with Jacob, who's kind of this outsider coming into this but is also related to this man that they did know at one point. So I just thought the relationships were very interesting, and the dynamics were really cool. I really like Miss Peregrine. I have to say I like Eva Green as her better than the portrayal in the book, because in the book she's kind of like Dumbledore, kind of like this older lady that's kind of, you know, just comes in and is like, I'm in charge of all y'all, I'm so nice, eat your breakfast, do your grammar, and she's cool. But I just really like how Eva Green looks with the blue hair and everything. Like, I think that's definitely more peculiar. There's also a slight romance in this book that kind of took me a little while to get into, because it's a tad weird how it starts out, but by the end of it, you'll like it. I liked it. You'll like it. Jacob and this girl's relationship is very cute and very sweet, and it's kind of that like innocent puppy dog love that we don't see a lot in YA now, because everyone wants everyone to bang in like 5 pages, and don't get me wrong, I'm all for making out through an entire book, but it's just nice to see like a little more kind of sweet and like innocent puppy dog love. And they are on the younger side. I think they're like 16, 17, maybe 16, 15, I don't know. One thing that didn't always work for me though, oddly enough, is actually the thing that this whole book is based on, and that's the pictures, because the book, I'm sure as you all know, just has like random pictures sometimes of actual pictures that Ransom found from people who found these pictures somewhere, but it doesn't always work for me because of how it was written sometimes. Like, sometimes it would be like something's happening and then like to explain it, they would be like, oh, I have a photo of this, and just like whip it out. Or like Jacob would see someone come in and then be like, oh, I remember this photo, and it's just like, it didn't feel organic. Like it felt like you had to take away from like where the story was going to work in the photos. Like it just felt weird for like you to be on this roll about this big giant story and all this interesting stuff that's happening and be like, oh, I have a photo, hold on a sec, and then like pull it out. Like it just, I didn't like it that much. I have to say, like, out of all the photos, only a few really added to the story for me. And I think this story could be perfectly fine without them, which is weird because, like I said, this is like the selling point of the story. That's what makes it different, is the photos included in it. But I like the story way more than the photos. I thought the story itself was just entertaining and interesting, and I like the basis of the photos and how he worked them in. But like I said, just the majority of the time it didn't work for me. The book also ends on a big, big cliffhanger, and weirdly enough, even though it's like one of my least favorite cliffhangers, like the stereotype of it where it's like we know something bad's gonna happen, we try and prepare for it, we do the thing we're not supposed to, and then it ends terribly like we all predicted. Normally I hate that, but the way Ransom wrote it, it actually felt authentic, and like I could understand it. Like, I know people get annoyed when like characters make stupid emotional decisions, but if I can understand your reasoning behind it, even if it is a stupid decision, if I can understand your reasoning in the moment, then I'm all for it. Like, go do stupid decisions, go do you, as long as you're not murdering someone who's a nice person. I liked it, and I think it really sets it up in an interesting way now, and I think the predicament that Jacob had and the choice he had to make at the end of the book was very interesting, and I'm excited to see how that's going to play out in the next 2 books, because everyone has been kind of saying like, okay, you make this decision, but then you might regret it afterwards. So I'm excited to see if he's going to have that regret, or if he's really going to become like a leader in this group and stuff like that. And I'm really, really excited to read this series. I'm gonna go get the next one like as soon as I finish filming this, gonna run out, and I'm just so excited. I really have to recommend it. It's so different. I mean, I haven't read a book with a boy protagonist who's like the whole point of view in a long, long time, so it's kind of cool to see that. But then also just the whole mystery. It had like 2 really good plot twists that I did not see coming, that I like gasped and dropped the book. And I haven't done that in a long time either. So it was just a great read overall, and I'm so happy that I got around to reading it because I absolutely love it, and it's definitely one of my favorite books now. And I definitely give it 5 out of 5 stars, and if you haven't read it and are interested in checking out the movie or just interested in the book, definitely say do it, because I was hesitant. I didn't think it could possibly be as good as everyone was saying it is, and it definitely is. The only qualm I have, actually, now that I think about it, besides the pictures, was the parents are kind of like my least favorite stereotype, where like they're just so selfish and they're people who should just never ever have had a kid. So that was kind of annoying, but I don't think the parents will be as involved in the next 2 books, I'm hoping. So we'll look forward to that. Anyway, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also comment down below if you have read Miss Peregrine's or seen the trailer or anything in general. And also subscribe to my channel down below to be sure to make all sorts of new videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!